I spent over $65,000 to work with Alex Hormozi one-on-one, and I pivoted my entire business after just one conversation. If you've not heard of Alex Hormozi, he's an entrepreneur who's worth over $100 million, but what he actually does is he's able to teach high-level business tactics whilst also even building his business.
How to know if you are creating the right type of content? How to know if you are creating your brand in the right way, with the right direction? Will you hit the wall of burnout? Or maybe you are working in your passion project. Are you willing to play like the big leagues of your industry? Or maybe you are just hitting a wall very soon. These are very important questions, and not just for you. If you are starting your journey, of course you have those questions right in the corner, or maybe you have gone through that questions already. But even for fellow creators that have been in the game, for fellow entrepreneurs, they have gone through the same questions over and over at different stages of their journey. So today we will be talking about Usman. He has been making like $1 million plus a month at this point. And he was talking with Alex Hormozi. I guess you already know who is Alex, very popular in the space. And if you don't know, well, Usman already explained a little bit about him. So the last few years, I have been working with creators behind the scenes. I grow my own YouTube channel, summarizing books, to 250,000 followers. And I have been behind the transformation of so many interesting projects. So let's watch the video together, and I will be sharing with you a couple of different thoughts. And if at any point during the video you like what you are hearing and you believe you will have some interesting content in this channel and you want to keep in the loop, subscribe, give it a like, that helps a lot. Enjoy the video.
Now, because that half an hour conversation that I literally had was so impactful, I thought, great, I'll opt in for that too. Now, whilst that conversation is set up for the next few months, which I can keep you updated, off the back of our first conversation, I've changed my entire business. So let's go over everything in 3 different sections. First, we'll cover why my old model wasn't working, what was broken about it, and why it couldn't scale. The second thing, why I was not serving my ideal customer and not using my best skill set. And third, what are my next steps and what am I doing now? And how has his advice changed my business? And what step-by-step takeaways can you take from mine to implement them into yours for free? Now, last year, I was working primarily a fitness audience where I was helping coaches build their business from anyone from 0 to all the way to 30 and 40,000 a month. And I was charging them $5K to do so. And we were working out a 90-day plan where we worked with over 200 people. We had an incredible success rate, and I worked with coaches throughout 2023. And what we did was we mainly got them to speak about content, sales, and covering everything with them. But after speaking to a lot of competitors in my space, I realized no one was actually making the money that I wanted to be making. The goal right now is to be able to hit 10 million a year. And when I spoke to a lot of my competitors, none of them were making 10 million. So then you have something called a total addressable market. So you tend to look at, is there enough scope within the UK to be able to serve that market if I was to capture 1%? Now, when I looked at that market and I spoke to my competitors, even the bigger competitors that were doing 3, 4, 500,000 a month had a high amount of ad costs and their profit was very low. And I knew I just didn't want to egotistically just chase a high amount of revenue, but to give away half of my money in ad spend. I spoke to 3 of my competitors and they were spending between 30 to 35% of their revenue in ads for the next month. And that business model seemed so expensive because their operational costs were high as well. And they were both running at 30 to 35% profit margins. My ideal goal was to find a business that I could make 10 million, but ideally have 50% profit margins. So if the EBITDA was so low after everything is paid and everything is done, it's not really going to serve for the business I want to build to allow me to gain the freedom that I want to have. So that was one core problem that I had with the old business model and why I couldn't scale. But what I also did was I realized there was a lot of operational complexity while scaling that business, because you build out a method to serve an online coach, you have a system which was working, which I did. The next step is actually hiring success managers and building a team around you and pushing up your ad spend and getting more leads in, and then having a team deliver on that product. But the model was not as exciting for me because what I found was linking point 2. I was actually doing things for the customer that I didn't truly enjoy. What I was doing was speaking so much about content, which is not my key skill. So I had to go and find people that were great at content because I've never truly seen social media growth. So a part of me felt as though I'm not being totally authentic by helping fitness coaches with their business. So what I did was really simple. I thought my best clients have seen the results because they needed more support with sales, sales teams and sales tactics, which were the bigger businesses. And every business that I worked with that struggled with lead flow, the only time they were successful is because when the individual was creative and they were really good at content, or we got their ads to convert through an agency. But if it wasn't one of those two things, I wasn't able to truly grow and scale their business. So what was happening was I was having a bottleneck. Every time I was working with a client, I wasn't working with my ideal client because I was speaking about things like content. To be honest with you, now I'm making this content. You can see that I'm truly enjoying making YouTube videos, but I don't like speaking to people about their content.
So at the beginning of the video, he was talking about scalability as an issue. Basically, he's saying, even the biggest competitors, they are not making more than 400K. I have this goal of making 10 million. So obviously this is not the path moving forward. So we have seen time and time again that when you have a clear goal, some people can push through the boundaries and just set a new paradigm in the industry. Obviously, Usman is not going through that road, and honestly, not most people is willing to explore like a new road, okay? And what he's doing is a very wise way to move is basically, okay, if the path is not already in the market, because even the biggest competitors are not doing that, so I will pivot to somewhere else. I will search for a mentor that helped me go through that transformation. The point A itself, it was not a wall if you want to go through that wall because it's meaningful enough for you. So working with a lot of creators, having this type of conversations, when you, what I have learned is when you don't want to go through a wall in the market, is because it exists an internal wall, so you are not interested in going and pushing forward in a specific direction because there is a misalignment. And he explained exactly the misalignment. He said, the reason is I don't like talking about content. You can help more people that is at the bottom of any specific niche, because at the top is more profitable, less people, fewer people, but you can massively monetize the bottom if you have systems to deliver the bottom in a way that is scalable. The real reason why Usman was not interested in scaling up, and maybe also something to think about, is because primarily his focus on his audience and the audience he was serving, they were requiring something that he was not willing to provide. When you're interested about something, you will naturally develop the skills to solve the problems that are interesting to you. I always talk about alignment. If in your niche there is a wall, are you willing to create a new paradigm in that niche? Ideally, and in the past video we were talking about Sam Oven's transformation, the founder of a school, he was willing to push through a wall and creating something new because he was pursuing meaning. So when you are aligned, you know your personal values, what is the type of lifestyle you want to live, and you know clearly what is exciting for you, you are willing to push a boundary. When you are not aligned, and then the market is showing you a wall, it kind of makes sense just going through the wall and search, it's like where the water is flowing. Okay, so here is Alex Hormozi, other people is operating on this other business model. Let's copy that one, and that is fine. The point that I always make is we are moving to a meaning economy. And the meaning economy is going to be an economy where services and products, they will be automated. Basically, every single industry is going to be automated. Services will not be delivered based on need because everyone will have accessible products and services that are provided by automated system, cheaper, safer, better. So the only transactions that will be non-existent beyond the basic needs are going to be those moved by meaning, experiences. And that is the reason why I'm focused on personal brands, because I truly believe in the near future, we will have like 8 billion one-person businesses. The more it is everything automated and the less you need to work, UBI and everything else, that is a topic for another video. But the people that is going to be in the game and the entrepreneurs that will exist, they are going to be able just to provide services that are not based on need, but based on meaning. So Usman, my brother, that we are talking a little bit about the experience, his business was not aligned with his core interest, his core skills. In the same situation, but just someone that was heavily into training, heavily into content creation. He said, okay, I will revolutionize the game. I will create this new platform. I will create this new SaaS product. I will create this new paradigm and I will shift the things, and this is what I love, and I'm going to push forward and I'm going to build an unicorn out of this. You can do that only when you are aligned. You are doing something that fires your soul, And obviously that is not always what happens. But at a lower scale, a lot of tiny creators, they start pivoting when things are not doing well, and they are pursuing like different shiny objects. And they do it over and over and over, pursuing different shiny objects, because they don't stop asking themselves, okay, wait a second, what is my personality type? And then what is my value structure? And by value structure, I mean something that Usman will be talking about later. It is, what are your priorities in life? Maybe your priority is freedom, and maybe for other people is nice relationships. So the lifestyle output that is considered success for you is not the same for other people. So not all business models are aligned with you. A lot of business transformations at the core is just a personal path to knowing yourself better.
Number 3, what am I doing now? Well, it's actually working with sales teams, which is what I was kind of doing over the last year, but I was doing it with a broad type of audience, but not truly advertising it for it. So I was working with business owners from Amazon FBA. I was working with businesses that sell high ticket programs. And what I was doing was helping these business owners work out how they can build a sales team and have a sales team perform. And all of those businesses got far better results than the struggling client from 0 to 5K. Now, I will say there are amazing coaches out there, mentors and business coaches that can help the 0 to 5K fitness coach. That's not my core skill. My core skill is building elite level sales teams. And the elite level sales teams that I want to build tend to be from a customer that has a bigger business, a 7 and 8 figure business, because they have multiple sales reps and we can do their training, their systems and their consulting and work out everything for them because we have a proven system, because it's something that I built over 10 years. And which goes back to the conversation that I had with Alex. It was, this is what I'm doing right now, and this is my core experience, and this is what my greatest skill is. And the simple advice that he gave me was, well, you should be targeting people, which is your best skill. And you're able to create a far bigger LTV because you can charge a lot more. He spoke about gym launch, and he went how on gym launch, they had an LTV for over 50K for every client because they had a 40K front end sale. And then often than not, many of them would buy the back end offer. So similar with my business now, we have an offer that we're able to provide sales teams incredible amount of value very fast. So within the first few weeks, we're able to really truly grow their business through actually optimizing their sales process, training their salespeople, which gives us a lot of trust, because when we do build a lot of trust, we're able to give a back-end offer and say, hey, we also offer these services for your operations and your sales. Because we've built a lot of trust and we delivered on everything that we said, probably times 5 on the investment that they've put in, they're more likely to actually want to invest and work with us on the back-end offer, which increases our LTV, which has already been happening. So by pivoting our business all towards sales teams and sales functionality, that's what we're now doing. And that would have never happened if I had spoken to Alex.
Listen, unless you have already a business, like these last 2 minutes have been like advanced Chinese or something like that. Because the reason is, when you are starting a business and you are starting maybe creating content, you have that desire to have something going on social media, you don't know exactly what is the people you want to help. You are kind of exploring the possible services or products that you want to bring to the market. So there is a lot of reasoning here going on that it happens further down the line once you already have few answers already. So what I specialize doing and what I have been enjoying doing for almost 10 years at this point is helping creators working through all of that decision making that happens at the very beginning of starting a brand. If you don't understand What is the transformation you have done? And it's not just what you can do for other people, but the transformations you have done that are meaningful for you, and then how that intercepts with what the market is demanding from you. And then in that interception is when you have the possibility to tackle a niche, but then the business model that you build to deliver any given transformation to that people has to be also aligned with the type of lifestyle you want. So if you don't have those answers already, it is not kind of the moment to think how to scale my business, because the business is just the machine that you use to deliver a transformation. But if you don't know the transformation you are delivering, if you don't understand the people that you want to help, 100% ensure that you have had meaningful transformation that you can share with other people and you have value to add to other people, but it's a skill to productize those transformations. So if you don't know all of this, that is exactly where the Meaning Economy Network, that is a network I have created for fellow creators, and it's a free network. It's not even a paid network. And if you want to meet other people that is in this journey and you want to learn from them and you want to have a place where you can talk about your experience, what you are doing, to learn from others, you can check down in the description how to access the network. It is free, you don't have to pay, but there is a form. If you want to talk with me about your ideas, where you are at with your business, how to productize something that you have already unlocked in your life and you want to teach other people how to do it, or you don't even know how to start, I can help you. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give it a like, and I hope it has been helpful for you, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.